said that when someone can legally drive, they should be able to marry at the same time, which is literally like a 15 or 16-year-old, because you get your permit at 15, your license at 16, and both are way too young to be marrying.
Sure, that is way too young to be marrying, but that is way too young as well to be on hormones and removing your pee-pee. And that is what you were defending when you were debating Sneeko.
So why is it okay for a kid to... He and his family, or he and she and that family, is making that decision for that child's life. If that's the path they want to go down, it's like choosing a sport.
Obviously, Sneeko's opinion on this topic is really bad as well, but everyone knows Thnx has an L take. People weren't expecting you to have such a bad take, and he just keeps going after Thnx, and he doesn't talk about his own bad take. He just says, oh yeah, what Thnx was saying was bad as well. Yeah, everyone agrees with that, but what you were saying was as bad as well. It's just saying, oh yeah, a young child can decide that if their parents legit agree with that. And obviously Thnx was using the argument, okay, if the parents agree with that, then obviously if the parents agree with marriage as well, then that should be fine as well. And you not knowing how to debate, you fell for that. So I don't know why you're not owning up to it and saying, oh yeah, I had a really bad take, I'm sorry. Welcome back by a new video on my channel. It's your boy GenNot. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Go sit down and relax. So today I want to continue talking about the entire moist critical situation, basically the aftermath. It really seems to be a bad year for big YouTubers. Obviously it started with Dr. Disrespect, now we have Mr. Beast and Moist Critical. Mr. Beast is obviously in a really bad situation as well with Chris Tyson and all the stuff that's happening. Not only that, he seems to go legally after the person that basically exposed them in the video, and yeah, that's a really messy situation. And obviously the entire situation with Moist Critical and having his really big L take against Sneeko. It is really ironic that Sneeko is legit the person that is getting Moist Critical in such a bad situation, because before he made the video talking about the situation, I even saw in Moist Critical's comment section people turning against Moist Critical, which is really rare. I guess this is the real first opinion of Moist Critical, and now he's getting smoked for it, obviously. If you don't know what Moist Critical said, well, I'm gonna show it in the video as well, but basically he said that changing your gender, taking hormones and cutting off your pee-pee is the same as choosing a spot. I don't think I need to explain that is obviously a big L, and that is obviously something that only a person would say that doesn't know what he is talking about. No hate against the person, I think he's overall a pretty nice dude, but I don't think he should be doing any types of debates. At least he should learn to know how to talk in a debate, this and that.
So why is it okay for a kid to... He and his family, or he and she and that family, is making that decision for that child's life. If that's the path they want to go down, it's like choosing a sport.
So this was the tweet that really turned everything around for Moist Critical, because basically people started saying that Moist Critical left the web / gone offline because of the entire situation, that he can't handle criticism, this and that, which is just not true, because he was saying in this post that he's basically leaving the podcast and being more offline, which overall I think is a good decision. If you're like a full-time YouTuber, I do think you should be offline sometimes. It's really good for your mental health, and Moist Critical is obviously uploading every single day, this and that, and a lot of the time he's spending is online, so I think it's a good thing for him to be more offline. So that's definitely not something I'm gonna turn against him for. So yeah, what people start saying is basically, oh yeah, because he has this bad take and people started calling him out, he started leaving the web, this and that, which is just not true. People are really bad at reading, because if you take a look at this post, you basically can see that he is basically saying that yeah, he's just leaving the podcast, that is it.
Which he completely understood, so he made the announcement just letting people know that, and then that got spun on Twitter and Reddit as Moist Critical's taking an indefinite hiatus and quitting the internet, fundamentally. Don't know when I'll be back, he's done with the internet because of all this controversy. Patooey on his grave, he's gone. When looking at the post, I don't even know where that's coming from.
Yes, I found it really stupid as well when people are saying, oh yeah, he's retiring, he's stopping YouTube because of his bad take about transitioning, which is just not true. Obviously, this is the first time for Moist Critical that he's getting in such a situation. He always has the neutral, safe take, so I guess this is something new for him. But when I was reading that, I was thinking by myself, that is not him saying that he's retiring. It is just saying that he's stopping the podcast, and everyone that can read can understand that, but some people just love spreading misinformation, especially nowadays. They just read like a title and I don't read everything else besides it, just read the title and then they assume something. People just need to read the entire context before saying stuff.
Jackson made announcing that I would be leaving the podcasts, which is something I thought about periodically for quite a few months now, mainly because I started to recognize that I was becoming the very thing I'd make fun of with being chronically online. Like, I just was always online, and the podcasts were a big proponent of that, and I just kind of wanted to scale back the amount of time I spend online, and I kept Jackson in the loop the whole time here about where my head was at, and last week I told him, hey man, I think this is going to be where I hang up the jersey, you can put it in the rafters, throw it in the dumpster, but I think I'm just going to be, sailing off into the sunset here and just reducing the amount of stuff I do online.
Well, I definitely think that's a W for Moist Critical, being less online and actually, spending time with his girlfriend, this and that. I think especially when you have a job online, you definitely should just sometimes stop and touch some grass, do something outside, because it's obviously really bad for your mental health being online 24/7. I don't think I really need to explain that. Social media is just really bad for your mental state. It's really bringing a lot of people down. So I do think it's a good thing for Moist Critical to be leaving the podcast and just upload on his normal channel once a day, because he obviously enjoys that. He makes a shitload of money with the videos. He doesn't really need to edit anything. He can just make like a couple $1,000 each video, and I think that's a pretty awesome thing for him.
During all of it, it was another massive problem where now I only did it out of an obligation because people called me out, and then I also got accused of being a transphobe because I didn't use Ava Tyson's preferred pronouns, which were she, her. I didn't know that. I thought just calling Ava Tyson by her name was okay, and I had also heard when I went to the Mr. Beast thing, someone refer to Ava Tyson with they.
Yeah, that's honestly the craziest thing nowadays, how people legit get so upset and angry and just honestly harass a person when they use a wrong pronoun. Sometimes the person doesn't even know it. In this case, obviously Moist Critical, and people just go crazy and call you all types of names. Even weirder when a person that's trans basically commits a crime, and people are more angry about the misuse of the pronouns than actually the crime being committed, which is in my mind just mind-blowing. What is honestly worse, someone committing a horrible crime or someone using the wrong pronouns? I think we all know the answer. Anyone with a brain at least knows the answer here. It's not that big of a deal. Obviously, if that hurts your feelings, I understand that, this and that, but legit harassing a person because of the misuse of pronouns, that is just like, don't do that.
Said that when someone can legally drive, they should be able to marry at the same time, which is literally like a 15 or 16-year-old, because you get your permit at 15, your license at 16, and both are way too young to be marrying.
Sure, that is way too young to be marrying, but that is way too young as well to be on hormones and removing your pee-pee, and that is what you were defending when you were debating Sneeko.
So why is it okay for a kid to... He's making... He and his family, or he and she and that family, is making that decision for that child's life. If that's the path they want to go down, it's like choosing a sport.
Obviously, Sneeko's opinion on this topic is really bad as well, but everyone knows Thnx has an L take. People weren't expecting you to have such a bad take, and he just keeps going after Thnx, and he doesn't talk about his own bad take. He just says, oh yeah, what Thnx was saying was bad as well. Yeah, everyone agrees with that, but what you were saying was as bad as well. Legit saying, oh yeah, a young child can decide that if their parents legit agree with that, and obviously Thnx was using the argument, okay, if the parents agree with that, then obviously if the parents agree with marriage as well, then that should be fine as well, and you not knowing how to debate, you fell for that. So I don't know why you're not owning up to it and saying, oh yeah, I had a really bad take, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Instead he just keeps going after Thnx, and everyone knows Thnx had a bad take, but you had a really bad take as well on this entire situation. It's like he just keeps reflecting on Thnx instead of just owning up to it and saying, yeah, I just didn't know what I was talking about, shouldn't have said that, and I had an L take. What do you think about the situation? Leave it in the comment section. I think everyone that subscribed to him has forgiven him because I haven't seen much negative comments, so I guess he redeemed himself and he is being alive after this entire controversy. But I guess we have now seen the first controversy involving moistcr1tikal, his first real L take. I hope he's gonna learn from this, but I hope you enjoyed this video as well. If you did, then don't forget to press the like button, subscribe on the channel, and I will see you all in the next one.